What's happening everyone, my name is Alex and welcome back. In today's video we are checking out one of the latest robot vacuums from ECOVACS. What we have here today is called the ECOVACS T80 OMNI. Typically with robot vacuums, if you don't buy the most expensive ones out there, you are missing some of the best features. So you either don't get the best mopping system, or you don't get enough suction power, or you are missing other features altogether. Well, the ECOVACS T80 OMNI here basically offers all the top features that you find for other more expensive robots out there, but for a lower price. As always, there will be some links in the video's description so you can check this out. And I also want to mention that this video is sponsored by ECOVACS. So I'm gonna start with one of the most important and one of my favorite features for this robot vacuum, and that of course has to do with the mopping, because this robot vacuum here does mopping better than, I don't know, 85% of the robot vacuums available on the market. So this one gets what the manufacturer calls the OZMO Roller Instant Self-Washing Mop. So the mop that you are seeing right here. The biggest difference when you compare this to a more typical robot vacuum that has those two spinning brushes at the bottom is the fact that the roller mop here actually gets washed every time it turns. So every time it turns, it actually gets washed. So this is not gonna spread the dirt all over your floor. All the dirt actually ends up inside the robot vacuum. And to demonstrate this, I spilled a bunch of coffee on the floor and you can see the robot vacuum in action cleaning all that from the floor. If I would have had a more traditional robot vacuum that has the two spinning brushes at the bottom, they would have spread all that throughout the house. Well, that is not the case with this one. So this one will wash the floors much better than a more traditional robot vacuum that has those two brushes spinning at the bottom. This mopping system also puts more pressure onto your floor, therefore scrubbing your floor better, and this vacuum also features the True Edge 2.0 adaptive edge cleaning. That means that our roller mop here can actually extend out. So the roller mop will actually be able to get very close to the walls, so you're not gonna have that space that you typically find with a lot of these robot vacuums that have this sort of mopping system. So this one is able to clean all the way to the edge of the wall there, which is very important. So you're not gonna have any spaces in the house that don't get cleaned. So that's why I said when you compare this at the price that the vacuum has with a lot of other high-end vacuums, well, this one seems to do the mopping better than all the other ones, even though it is a cheaper product. Leaving the mopping system aside, this vacuum also has great suction power, so 18,000 PA suction power, so it doesn't matter what kind of a surface this vacuum will go over, if it goes over carpets or if it goes over hard floors, it's going to be able to pick up anything from the floor. And we'll combine that to the zero tangle anti-tangle brush that we have at the bottom here. You're also not going to get any hair stuck on this. So all the hair that goes on the brush actually ends up inside the robot vacuum. So our dustbin is actually located right here at the top. So it's very easy to access the dustbin, but you're not gonna have to empty this manually. So the Omni station that the robot vacuum has empties this dustbin all by itself. So you don't actually have to do anything. That Omni station also washes the mop every so often. Of course, will remove all the dirty water from here. And typically what you have to do with that Omni station is fill up the clean water tank that's at the top, and every so often empty the dirty water tank. And talking about that dirty water tank, you will be amazed by how dirty that water inside that dirty water tank is. That's from your floors. And personally, even though I have like multiple robot vacuums at home, that water was, well, dirtier than I expected. And the mop tray inside the Omni station is also designed to be maintenance free for up to 90 days. So less work for you. Basically, you just have to empty the dirty water tank every so often and fill up the clean water tank every so often. The Omni station will also dry the roller mop here. That's also dried with hot air. And that is very important because you don't want that roller mop to be smelling or anything like that. The roller mop can also be manually removed from the vacuum here. So if you want to remove it, you definitely can. You can wash it yourself manually if you want, or whenever it's time to replace it. So this is replaceable and removable as well if you want to do some manual work yourself. And taking a super quick look at our vacuum, you've probably noticed by now that this one doesn't have that LiDAR navigation system at the top here. Well, this one actually has all the sensors for navigation obstacle avoidance built in right here at the front. We have some sensors on the sides here. We also have this bumper here. So just in case you're wondering, yes, this one also has obstacle avoidance, and it does work really, really well. Actually better than a lot of other more expensive robots that I got to try up until now. So if you leave some cables, if you leave some toys or anything like that on the floor, it will avoid all those, so it will not run them over and basically get stuck on something. This also maps your entire house, so it knows exactly where it has to go, it knows exactly where it's been, it knows where its base station or Omni station is, so it can go there and recharge or empty itself out or wash the mop or whatever. So it knows how to do all that, and you basically interact with the robot vacuum from the ECOVACS app. There you can see the map, you can send the robot vacuum to a certain area in your house, you can just do a certain select rooms, or you can even set a schedule, so the vacuum does everything when you're not at home. Now, because this one doesn't have the LiDAR navigation at the top here, it's also got a slimmer profile. So it has a thickness of 98 millimeters, so it can easily go under a couch, under a bed, or anything like that. So it will be able to reach more spaces compared to one that has the LiDAR navigation at the top. So when you take into consideration all the features this robot vacuum has to offer and its price, well, it's gonna be hard for many manufacturers to beat this one. Mostly when we add this mopping system, because this mopping system is more advanced than, well, as I said earlier, maybe 80-85% of all the other robot vacuums available on the market. It just does mopping so much better than the other robot vacuums that have those spinning brushes at the bottom. So if you need a vacuum that is affordable but offers high-end features and, well, some of the best mopping available on the market right now, well, look no further, because the ECOVACS T80 is definitely a robot to get. As always, there will be some links in the video's description so you can check this out. Once again, thanks ECOVACS for sponsoring this video. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer whatever questions you may have. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.